and thank you for joining me once again. Today we're going to be focusing on a different aspect of yoga, the mental benefits. Specifically, sometimes you might feel a little bit anxious, overwhelmed, or stressed. So yoga not only helps to benefit you in a physical way, opening up your tight back, your hips, your shoulders, getting rid of tension in your body, lengthening muscles, so it has all of those physical benefits. But emotionally, it can help to relax you, help to calm you down. It helps to lower your heart rate and your blood pressure, which sometimes when you're feeling those feelings of anxiety or stress, sometimes those will spike, and that contributes to those constant feelings. So when we bring the heart rate down, when we bring your blood pressure down, you start to feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more mellow, and that is the ultimate goal of today's practice. Today's practice is very simple, it's very easy, and we're going to move very slowly. When you move very slowly in your body, you calm yourself down, you relax yourself a little bit more, you're able to focus on your breathing. So we're going to start in child's pose. So make your way onto the back of the mat on your knees. To come into child's pose, you can bring your knees to the outside of the mat. Let your big toes touch each other, and then shift your weight all the way back so that your hips rest on your heels. Extend your arms all the way out in front of you. Now, if you don't love child's pose, if for any reason this irritates your knees, you can come up into puppy pose. With puppy pose, you're going to rest on your forearms and just let your hips come up into the sky. You're getting a lot of the same physical benefits of child's pose, but you're just not putting that pressure on your knees. So I'm going to shift myself back down into child's pose. Extend your arms all the way out in front of you and let yourself relax. Let your body just sink into this pose. Try not to hold your back up, just let your back relax. And then pay attention to the pressure points, anything that's really grounding into the mat. For me, I can feel the palms of my hands touching the mat. I feel my elbows being ground into the mat, my knees, the tops of my feet, and even the tops of my toes. My forehead and my nose are both touching the mat as well. Pay attention to all of these pressure points. It's a good way to find the physical side of the pose that you're doing. Now bend your elbows and bring your forearms just next to your head and let your elbows touch your knees and let yourself relax in this variation of child's pose. If you're in puppy pose, stay right where you are, no change is needed. But in child's pose, just let those hands come a little bit closer to your head. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Take another deep inhale and exhale. Now we're going to count. So take a deep inhale for 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath for 1, 2, 3, and exhale. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Hold it for 1, 2, 3. And now open your mouth and exhale with a sigh. Inhale through your nose for 1, 2, 3. Hold it for 1, 2, 3. And now open your mouth and exhale with a sigh. Okay, very slowly start to reach your hands a little bit forward of your head and then press yourself up into tabletop position. Reposition your knees so that they're underneath your hips, and then make sure your wrists are lined up with your shoulders and your elbows fall right in the middle. We're going to go into cat-cow pose. We're going to move very slowly through this. Deep inhale. Start to arch your tailbone up to the sky. Press your stomach down towards the ground, looking kind of up and forward. And then exhale. Let's curl that tailbone under, looking back toward your knees. Inhale, lift your tailbone up to the sky, stomach pressing down toward the ground, coming into cow pose. And then exhale, curl your tailbone under, looking back toward your knees. Nice arch in your back as you come into cat. Inhale, curl that tailbone up, looking up, coming into cow. Exhale. Curl that tailbone under, coming into cat. We're moving very slowly, helping to slow your heart rate down. Tailbone goes up as you inhale, coming into cow. Exhale, curling that tailbone under, coming into cat. We're going to do this one more time. Inhale, tailbone goes up, looking up, coming into cow. Exhale, curling that tailbone under, coming into cat. Inhale, let's come to a flat back, and then walk yourself forward to come all the way flat on the mat. Bring your forearms so that they rest right, your elbows will rest right next to your chest. Tuck your arms in so that they're close to your body. Your hands are just forward of your face, and then lower your head so that your forehead is resting on the mat. Roll your ankles in toward each other. Your knees will roll out. This is going to support your lower back through this pose. Don't point your toes. Don't squeeze your glutes. Just roll your knees toward the outside, your ankles in toward each other. That's going to support your lower back. I'm going to move through Sphinx pose a few times. Inhale, press your forearms into the mat. Just lift your back slightly. Your hips and the lower part of your belly stay on the mat. Exhale, folding forward, resting your forehead on the mat. Inhale, pressing your forearms into the mat, lifting your head slightly, closing your eyes if you feel comfortable. Exhale, folding forward once again. Inhale, pressing those forearms down, lifting up into Sphinx pose, feeling those elbows and the outsides of your hands pressing into the mat. Exhale, coming back down one more time. Inhale, pressing yourself up, feeling this stretch in your back. And exhale, folding forward. Release your hands and then bring your hands next to your chest. Tuck your toes under and then press yourself up, passing through tabletop pose, and then lift your hips up to the sky. Press your chest towards your thighs, coming into downward facing dog. Try to press your heels down into the ground and make sure your heels are directly behind your toes, so your feet are facing completely forward on the mat. And let yourself relax in a little bit of downward facing dog, paying attention to those press points. Feeling the palms of your hands pressing into the mat, noticing where you put a little bit more pressure. Maybe your pressure is on the outside of your hands, making your way back, feeling the space underneath your toes pressing down into the mat. If you're lucky enough that those heels can touch, feeling those heels press into the mat as well. Take a deep inhale and exhale with a sigh. Relax yourself in this pose. On your next inhalation, taking very tiny steps, start to walk those feet forward on the mat. What you're going to do is you're going to walk them so that they come up to your hands. You can reposition your hands as you need to, as your flexibility allows, and then let yourself just be in this hands to foot pose for a few moments. Only as flexible as you are. You can bend your knees if you need to. You can lift up so that your fingertips are touching the mat, letting yourself relax, letting your body just hang. Keeping your arms by your side, slowly coming up to a standing position. Bring the palms of your hands together and bring your thumbs to heart center. Close your eyes. Take a deep inhale and fully exhale. We're going to move through a nice relaxing movement just to get your heart rate going slightly. We're going to move very slowly. Deep inhale, extend your hands straight up to the sky. Keep the palms of your hands together. As you exhale, let those hands pass through the center of your body. Start to fold at the waist, reaching those arms down, touching the mat with your fingertips. Inhale, let's bring your palms back together, reaching back up, all the way up to the sky. Exhale, let's bring those hands down, folding through the center part of your body, reaching those fingertips down to the mat. Palms back together as you inhale, reaching those hands through the center of your body, reaching all the way up, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, let's fold, bringing those fingertips down through the center of your body, reaching down toward the mat. We're going to do this one more time. palms together, reaching up through the center part of your body, reaching all the way up to the sky. Exhale, reaching through the center part of your body again, coming down to the mat, releasing your hands, releasing your body, not stretching for the mat, but just letting yourself hang. Come into ragdoll pose. Let your head go. Don't try to press and hold your head up. Don't put too much strain in it. Let your head just relax. Let your shoulders relax. The entire upper part of your body goes limp. If you need to separate your feet to help balance you, go right ahead and do that, just an inch or two apart. And then take any variation of ragdoll pose that feels comfortable for you. Maybe you love this right here, just letting your whole upper body hang. Maybe you want to bend your elbows and grasp the opposite elbow with the opposite hand and let yourself rock slowly, very, very slowly, back and forth from right to left. A rocking motion is always very comforting. If you've got the flexibility, you can reach your hands behind your legs and hold onto your legs, kind of like a hug for your legs. Sometimes that's very comforting as well. Or sometimes you just want to touch the mat and feel your hands in the mat. No matter where you are, always let your head hang. That's going to release any tension or tightness that you might be holding on to. Okay, wherever you are, let's release your hands. Just let your upper body hang, coming into a ragdoll pose. Inhale. Let's extend those arms all the way out to the side. Bring those arms all the way up to the sky. Nice reach. Then bring the palms of your hands together and then lower your hands to heart center. Close your eyes and notice your heartbeat. Beating strong. Getting the blood flowing through your body. Take a deep inhale. Slowly open your eyes, bring your hands down to your sides and turn so that you're using the length of your mat. Bring your feet about 3 feet apart. We're going to go into a slight strength pose. We're going to go into triangle pose. Rotate your right toes so that they face the right-hand side of the room. Look down and make sure that there's a straight line between the back of your right ankle to the inside of your left ankle, and then make sure your left toes are facing the front of the room. Bring your arms out into a nice letter T. Take a deep inhale, and then as you exhale, let's start to press your right hand towards the front of the room, your left hip towards the back of the room, and then pivot at the waist, coming into triangle pose. Now, very important in triangle pose, don't let your shoulders reach over. Always make sure that there's a nice straight line from the tips of your right fingertips all the way to the tips of your left fingertips. You can reach all the way down into the full expression of this pose if it feels comfortable. Once again, making sure you don't curl over, making sure you've got a nice straight line, your shoulders are stacked, your chest is facing forward. If you don't love that, maybe you come up. Your head can continue to look forward, or you can rotate it and look up at the sky, whatever feels comfortable for your neck. Continuing to breathe, feeling your muscles, feeling those press points, feeling your heels, the soles of your feet, noticing which foot is pressing a little bit more deeply into the mat. Deep inhale, and as you exhale, let's come back up into our 5-pointed star. Rotate your right toes so that they face the front. Let's lower your arms and then roll out your shoulders, bringing a little bit of energy into your shoulders. And let's do the same on the opposite side. Let's rotate your right toes so that they face the opposite side of the room. Look straight down. Make sure you can draw a straight line between the heels of your feet. Right toes are facing forward. Bring those arms out into a nice letter T. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, left hand gets pulled to the opposite side of the room, right hip towards the opposite side, and then start to pivot at the waist, coming into triangle pose, whatever expression you feel comfortable with. Looking forward or looking up, and then pay attention to your body here. Pay attention to the insides of your thighs, into your glutes. Pay attention to your neck. Feel for your heartbeat. Nice deep inhale. Nice full exhale. And on your next inhalation, let's come back into 5-pointed star. Let's lower your hands, and then let's roll out those shoulders. Now let's make our way into a seated position on the mat. And as we come into the seated position, bring the soles of your feet together as we come into butterfly pose. So with butterfly, if this feels comfortable with your feet close to your body, you can keep them here. Otherwise, extend those feet a little bit further away. If you have very tight hips, this is going to be a better option for you. It'll be more comforting. Otherwise, if your feet are in too close to your body, interlace your fingers and cup your toes. We always want to make sure we have a nice straight back. So if for any reason you're curling over, especially if your feet are further out, bring your hands to your shins or your ankles. This will help you to sit up nice and tall, and it'll bring those shoulders back and down. Close your eyes. Feel for your heartbeat. Start to notice your breathing. And notice those press points. Notice the points of your body that are planted in the mat. Maybe the outsides of your ankles or your heels. If both feet are down on the mat and you're holding your ankles, maybe you feel the entire outside of your foot pressing into the mat. And then those sits bones, the bony part of your bum. And you can continue to keep your eyes closed if you feel comfortable, or you can open them. We're going to flow forward and backward in this butterfly pose. Take a deep inhale, looking up towards the sky. Exhale. Bend your elbows, bring your chest down towards your toes. Inhale, coming back up, looking up to the sky. And exhale, bend your elbows, bring your chest down towards your toes. Inhale, coming back up, looking up to the sky. Exhale, bend your elbows, bring your chest down toward your toes. One more time. Deep inhale, coming up, looking up to the sky. And exhale, bend your elbows, bring your chest down towards your toes. Inhale, come up into a seated position. Keep your right leg where it is. Rotate your left leg at the hip. Bring the sole of your right foot up to the top of your left thigh. And then rotate your torso so that you're looking over the inside of your right thigh. Plant your left fingertips in the mat below your shin. Right fingertips go above your thigh. Bring your shoulders back and down. Sit up nice and tall. Take a deep inhale and then exhale. Start to walk yourself over your legs, over the inside of your thigh. You're aiming for your knee, and go as deep into this posture as you feel comfortable. The lower that you can go, the more relaxing this pose becomes. You can extend those arms all the way out if it feels good for you. For me, it's a little bit easier to talk and keep my forearms on the mat. Now, if it's a little uncomfortable for you to come this low, you can always take pillows and stack them up and rest the side of your head on the pillows. This will elevate your body a little bit, but you'll still get this nice comforting feeling. So there's a lot of physical benefits to what I call zigzag legs. Sciatica, lower back, and hips. However, the lower that you sink into this pose, the more you get into the mental benefits, the emotional benefits, which are what clear your stress and help to ease your anxiety. Take a deep inhale, slowly walk yourself back up into a seated position. Let's bring that left foot around again. Let's come back into butterfly. Bring the soles of your feet back together. Position your feet wherever they feel comfortable. We're going to come into a butterfly forward bend. Take a deep inhale, looking straight up to the sky. Exhale. Bend your elbows, bring your chest down towards your toes, and let yourself relax in this butterfly forward bend. Now you can keep your hands resting on your feet, or you can extend those arms out in front of you, wherever you feel comfortable, or you can bring them a little bit closer to your body. Never forcing this. If you can't sink this low in this pose and you're right here, that's fine. Just let your head fall, looking down toward your feet, letting yourself relax in this pose. Sometimes your body, as you exhale, finds a little bit of room and you're able to sink a little bit deeper into this pose. Continuing to breathe, continuing to focus on your breathing, listening for your heartbeat. Deep inhale, slowly coming up into a seated position. Keeping your left leg where it is, let's rotate your right leg at the hip. The sole of your left foot comes up to the top of your right thigh. Rotate your torso so that you're facing over the inside of your left thigh. Bring your shoulders back and down. Plant those fingertips into the mat below your shin, above your thigh. Deep inhale, and then exhale. Walk yourself forward over the inside of your left thigh. and let yourself come down to a height that feels comfortable for you. Let your head fall down, looking down toward the mat, continuing to breathe. Focusing on your breathing, feeling your body rise as you inhale and then sink deeper as you exhale. Inhaling through your nose. If you feel comfortable, you can exhale through your mouth. Nice deep inhales. Full exhale. And then on your next inhalation, we'll walk ourselves back up into a seated position. And then let's cross our legs at the ankles. This is a very relaxing movement. There's a lot of physical benefits to this as well, but we're gonna focus on the emotional benefits. We're gonna move into a movement called Sufi circles. So with your ankles crossed, doesn't matter which direction, place the palms of your hands below your knees. Take a deep inhale, start to shift your body weight backwards, and then exhale. Start to make circles with your torso. Revolving at the hips, trying to keep those sits bones planted into the mat, moving very slowly. You can close your eyes if you like. Sufi circles are very relaxing, especially when you move as slow as I am. When you move this slow, it brings your heart rate down. Helps to relax you. It's kind of that rocking motion once again. Like I said earlier, that rocking motion always tends to comfort us. So this is a wonderful pose to help relax you, to calm you down, to bring down your heart rate. When your torso reaches the back, let's start to move in the opposite direction. We like to keep balance in our body, remembering to continue to inhale as you pull back and exhale as you come forward. Inhaling back, exhaling forward. Once again, Sufi circles. So this is also going, if you have a tight back, this is going to help release any tension or stress that you're holding on to in your back. Sometimes our stress or anxiety can manifest itself physically throughout our body. So this is a nice way to combat those physical aspects of stress. One more circle. When your torso reaches the back, once again, come up into a seated position. Keep your left leg where it is. Extend your right leg straight out. Reposition your foot so that the sole of your left foot is up against the inside of your left thigh. Extend your toes. Flex your toes so that they are facing up to the ceiling. Plant your fingertips into the mat. Your left one goes into the mat in front of your shin. Your right one goes into the mat just outside of your knee. Bring your shoulders back and down. Deep inhale and then exhale. Start to walk yourself forward very slowly, coming into head to knee pose. Only going as deep in this pose as you feel comfortable. Don't force it. If you can touch the bottom of your feet, go right ahead. If you can, but you don't feel like pushing yourself that far, then just let your hands rest either on the ground or on your shins and let yourself come into this relaxing pose. This pose helps release stress in your lower back, helps to release the physical manifestation of stress. It also helps to let your mind relax, letting your head just kind of drop. If this is pulling on your back, you can lift your head slightly and look at the tips of your toes. But as you sink into this pose, your body relaxes, your mind relaxes. Take a deep inhale, bring your hands out to the side, walk yourself back up into a seated position. Let's extend your left leg straight out on the mat, and then let's bring the sole of your right foot to the inside of your thigh. Plant those fingertips on either side of your knee, shoulders back and down, deep inhale, and then exhale. Start to walk yourself forward to a height that feels comfortable on this side, trying to flex that left foot if you can, pressing those heels towards the front of the room, and letting yourself relax in head to knee pose on this side. Continuing to breathe. Nice deep inhales. Nice full exhales. Try to keep your opposite knee down. Don't go so deep that the knee starts to come up. Just let that knee come down. This way you're nice and relaxed in this pose. Take a deep inhale. Walk yourself back up into a seated position. Extend your right leg straight down on the mat. Both legs out in front of you. We're going to flow through a forward bend. Bring your fingertips out to the side. Deep inhale. Slowly sweep those arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, open your arms. Swan dive down, hands toward your feet. Place your hands on either side of your shins and start to slowly come up into a seated position. Let's open those arms once again with another deep inhale. Exhale, open your arms, swan dive down toward your feet. Inhale, sweeping those hands along the side, reaching those arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, open your arms, swan dive down, hands to your feet. Inhale, coming back up, reaching those arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, open your arms, swan dive down, hands toward your feet. We'll do this one last time, sweeping those hands along the sides of your legs. Inhale, reaching those arms all the way up. Exhale, open your arms, swan dive down, hands to your feet. And inhale, slowly coming up into a seated position. Let's just cross our legs at the ankles. Come into a seated position, sitting up nice and tall, feeling those sits bones in the mat. Let your hands first rest in your lap and close your eyes. Close your eyes and just focus on the stillness. Pay attention to any external noises in your environment. Whether it's a car going by, one of your pets, one of your very four-legged friends playing in the background. Maybe you hear the air conditioning kicking on in your house or a ceiling fan. Pay attention to all of these noises. This helps to bring you into the present moment. Now pay attention to the physical sensations. Feel those sits bones in the mat. Feel the outside of your feet and your ankles pressing into the mat. Bring the palms of your hands together. Bring your thumbs to your heart center. Feel both hands pressing into one another. With your thumbs, find your heartbeat. Beating very slowly, but it's there. Take a deep inhale, focusing on your breath, paying attention only to the breathing. Inhale and exhale. Take another deep inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale, this time for 1, 2, 3. Hold it for 1, 2, 3, and open your mouth and exhale with a sigh. Breath work, paying attention to the noises in your environment, the physical feelings of your environment. This is what helps to bring you into the present moment. It brings your brain and your mind away from the stresses of the past, the anxiety for the future, and just lets you live in the here and now. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, open your eyes, and let's extend your feet out in front of you, bent knees. We're going to make our way down onto the mat. Place your hands on either side of your legs and guide yourself down into a reclined position. Extend your left leg straight out on the mat and draw your right knee up and in towards your chest. Make any small adjustments with your lower back that you need to. You can interlace your fingers either below your knee or behind your thigh, whatever feels comfortable for you. And then just let both feet be lazy. Normally I like to engage my feet, but when I'm dealing with stress, I just let those feet hang. Continuing to breathe, looking straight up at the ceiling, feeling this nice stretch, a very gentle stretch. We're not pushing it, we're not forcing it, but just feeling this gentle stretch in the muscles behind your legs, maybe into your glutes. And now very slowly, start to introduce some movement. Start to rock your right knee back and forth from right to left. Very, very, very slowly. Inhaling as your knee comes out to the side. Exhaling as it comes back across your body. Inhaling out to the side. Exhaling back across your body. Match the movement to the breath. The slower the breath, the more deliberate the movement.
slower the movement, the more deliberate the breath. Continuing to breathe, drawing that knee back to the center. Take your left hand, place your left hand on the outside of your right knee. Extend your right arm out to the side, forming half of a letter T. Then you can take your right toes and tuck them behind, like on the inside of your left thigh, and then press your knee across your body and gaze out at your right fingertips. Very important. Don't push yourself so hard that your shoulder blades come up off the mat. Make sure both shoulder blades stay flat on the mat. And then gaze out at your right fingertips. Close your eyes if you like. And let yourself relax in knee down twist pose. If you've got a little bit more flexibility and your shoulder blades won't come off the mat, you can bring that right foot to the outside. This will just get you a little bit of a deeper stretch. And if you just want to kind of relax in this pose, you can keep that foot on the inside of your thigh. So in addition to all of the great physical benefits, the stretching, the lengthening that this pose does, this also helps to quiet your mind. It's a great pose to do before bedtime. If you find yourself sleepless and anxious, you can come into knee down twist pose. It will relax you and quiet your mind. Let's take a deep inhale. Let's draw that right knee back up and in towards the center. Pull it in, give it a little bit of a squeeze, and then exhale. Extend it straight down on the mat, making any small adjustments to your body that you need to. Let yourself relax here and pay attention to the physical aspects of this pose. So this pose has immediate benefits. And one of the things that you can probably feel right away is that your right leg feels slightly longer than your left, and that's okay. You released a lot of stress that you're holding onto on the back side of your body. So now let's do the same on the opposite side. Let's draw that left knee up and in towards your chest. Reposition yourself if you need to. Interlace your fingers either below your knee or behind your thigh, and let yourself relax in knee to chest pose. Again, letting that left foot go lazy. Not putting any extra effort into this pose. Relaxing, focusing on your breathing, introducing a very little bit of movement. Start to slowly rock your left knee back and forth from left to right. Inhaling as your knee goes off to the left-hand side, exhaling as it comes back across your body. Inhaling to the left, exhaling as it comes back across your body. Giving yourself a little bit of a massage, massaging your hips, massaging the insides of your thighs. This gentle rocking motion is very therapeutic. It can also help to put you to sleep. Let's rock one more time in each direction, and then let's bring our knee back into the center. Place your right hand on the outside of your left knee. Extend your left arm all the way out to the side, forming the other half of a letter T. Tuck your left toes behind the inside of your right thigh, and then press your left leg across your body, making sure both shoulder blades stay flat on the mat, and then gaze off at your left fingertips. Relaxing in knee down twist pose. Continuing to breathe, noticing your breath, noticing how it feels on this side of your body. Nice deep inhales, nice full exhales. On your next inhalation, let's draw that knee up and in towards your chest. Pull it in, give it a little bit of a squeeze, and then exhale. Extend it straight down on the mat, making any small adjustments that you need to. Let yourself relax here and notice all of the sensations in your body. Notice your shoulder blades pressing into the mat, the back of your head, the lower part of your spine right into your tailbone, the backs of your legs, your heels, your elbows, and your hands. Let's come into one final pose before we relax. Let's bend your knees, place the soles of your feet on the mat. Let both knees fall off to the opposite side and bring the soles of your feet together as you come into a reclining version of butterfly pose, which I call guppy. Now extend your arms above your head and then bend your elbows. Grasp the opposite elbow with the opposite hand and let your arms rest on the mat above your head. Coming into guppy pose. So many physical benefits of this pose. But overall, this is a relaxing pose, helping you to quiet your mind. A pose you can easily fall asleep in at night if your brain doesn't stop going into overtime. It's a great way to quiet your mind, to stop some of the thoughts that continue to come in and out, and letting yourself relax. Take a deep inhale. Open your mouth and exhale with a sigh. One more time. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth with a sigh. Now release your fingertips. Bring your arms down to your sides. You can bend your knees. Bring your feet to the outside of the mat and let your knees fall into each other. This will help support them, or you can extend those legs straight down on the mat, whatever feels good for your back. And then let yourself relax in Shavasana. The best pose. This is the pose when your body receives all of the benefits of all of the yoga that you've done today. Let yourself relax in Shavasana. I will end our class as we relax, and I will send you off with Namaste. The beauty and divinity in me honors that which is the same as the beauty and divinity in you. Let yourself relax in Shavasana for as long as you like. I will let this video end and bring yourself back into the room whenever you're ready. When you come back into the room, start introducing small movements into your body. Don't jump out of bed or jump off the mat. Slowly start to reintegrate yourself back into the world. Take a deep inhale. Open your mouth and exhale with a sigh. And Namaste.